Here we go. Welcome to Sports Econ 101. This is the show where we discuss sports topics from a business perspective.
That's right.
I'm your host, Edward Brown, and that was well-known KPIX TV sports anchor. I'm going to call you Anchor. Can I do that?
Anchor, reporter, jack of all trades.
There you go. Vern Glenn and Bruce McGowan, who is a well-known radio sports personality for many, many years.
That's right. Many years.
And let's see what we're gonna do here. We don't have a special guest, so it's just gonna be us guys.
We're all special.
Come on, man.
You out there in the viewing, you're special too. Yeah. We're all winners. We get trophies.
You know what makes us feel really good? To know that you out there are watching us.
That's right.
Oh, Tommy, I tell you, we have too much fun.
Stay classy, audience.
Oh boy.
Every commercial break, we're gonna be asking a sports trivia question, and this theme is gonna be football. You think you know football? Again, round 2.
Wow, well, another wave of this.
Another wave of this.
Okay,
We had
all
a
right.
tough one last week, so this week we'll have a little bit easy, a little bit hard. You know how it goes. Talk about a few things. I want to talk a little bit about Tommy John surgery, and also I don't know if you guys saw the Little League game between Korea and Puerto Rico.
Did not see that. But
Did not.
Okay,
I was too involved with Monet Davis.
Oh, yeah.
What's the story with her anyway?
On
On the cover of Sports Illustrated.
Wow.
Oh,
How about
really?
how about that?
13-year-old girl.
How about
on the cover
that?
Of Sports Illustrated.
And we have to talk about what is a pitch off that she wants to do with Clayton Kershaw.
Oh.
Okay, we'll talk a little bit about that because I have no idea what that
I
means.
just got friended by Clayton Kershaw. And I was astonished.
Oh, friended.
Friended.
Oh, yeah,
I'm a friend of his on Facebook. No, friended. I'm a
Like
friend
you
of
were
friend.
You were Ice Bucket Challenge.
Yeah, we're on the Facebook together.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. Well, this segment of Sports Econ 101 is sponsored by Pacific Private Money, providing mortgage investments that are currently yielding 8% secured by real estate. Doesn't get any more conservative than that. Check them out at pacificprivatemoney.com. Thanks for listening. You're going to be tuning back in.
And watching.
That's right, and watching. Yes, we are on YouTube and TV somewhere. Okay, don't touch that dial. Sports Econ 101 will be right back.
That'll hold it.
That'll hold a little, you know what?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What's that? Yeah.
What's
That's
that?
right. Yeah, that's right. That'll keep the little quiet.
Oh, the little rascals.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I'm going to pick up my rascal today after this show.
Fun.
She's taking a
Camp?
mathematics camp, and she was so
Fun.
did not want to go to it.
Yeah.
And was very much against it. And then yesterday, I had so much fun. I
Yeah,
told you.
see?
There
Yeah,
you
well,
go.
you know what's best.
Yeah.
That's right.
That was my wife's idea. I just thought, wow, mathematics camp. Interesting. She said, I don't want any boys there. And sure enough, no boys were there. So, you know how girls are when they're 9.
Yeah.
This whole thing about, I hate boys, and I
Mhm.
hate girls. It's like 8 till about 11.
Yeah.
They go through that little stage where they're pre-teens. And then when they hit about 12, then they start looking at each other and go,
This is a little more interesting.
Yeah.
You're not the alien space creature that I thought you were.
I like that Monet Davis.
Monet Davis.
Yeah, spelled M-O
Yeah.
and then
Apostrophe. N-E.
N-E, yeah. She's a smart little kid, too. I saw her being
very poised in the
Yeah,
interview.
yeah.
I love that. It's a
I tell you
team
who else I
thing.
like, that New Jersey coach. I don't know if you saw his speech after they lost last night. Oh my God, it was just
He's the one with the accent and just
Mhm.
kind of yeah.
yeah. The Rhode Island Little League coach.
I noticed that
If
with
you,
her,
if you ever get a chance to
check it out.
see her, it's
Look it up on
awesome.
YouTube. Her fastball actually rises. She's got this rising fastball. It's just, it comes up and the hitter tries to chop down it and they can't
You
get
should
it.
see
You
that
got a
in softball.
fastball, you got a good curve, got a good
Yeah.
change up. Yeah.
All right, let's talk a little bit about her. But yeah, I'll start off with the Korea one, then we'll go to Monet Davis. Welcome back to Sports Econ 101. Again, I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with Vern Glenn
Settling in.
and Bruce McGowan.
That's me.
That's you. Okay. Start off, I want to talk about Korea versus Puerto Rico, Little League game. Now, if you guys didn't see it,
The Little League World Series.
there was just one part
Williamsport, Pennsylvania.
Where is Williamsport, Pennsylvania, anyway?
somewhere back east.
Thank you, Evan.
Somewhere in Pennsylvania, yeah.
For us
You know,
geographically
actually,
challenged.
I don't know if it's. I think it's closer to Pittsburgh.
Okay.
I think, but
Yeah.
don't catch me on that really.
It looks like your typical all-American town, though. I mean, the little
Yeah.
shots that I've seen of it.
So, but the reason I wanted to bring this up was when I first turned it on, the first thing I saw was a curveball that hit one of the Korean larger kids, hit him in the head. But it was a curveball. It was really slow. And the kid drops the bat and stares down the pitcher.
Ooh.
Now, first of all, you don't usually see that in Little League.
The Korean player was hit?
Player was hit and staring down. But, and I'm thinking, wait a minute. Usually the kids from the Asia Pacific are extremely reserved and very.
Well, maybe the Koreans aren't. Maybe the Japanese are and the Koreans aren't. I don't know.
Well, then about 3 batters later, another the batter goes ahead and he hits this really high drive, right? He drops his bat and he raises his arms like it's going to be a home run, and then it was caught at the wall. It was a very good catch, Puerto Rico. But I'm suddenly going, what is with these kids? Because
watching too much TV.
Well, and I thought he was going to rush them. The first kid was going to rush them out. Now,
I hate hearing that.
They got Sports Center in International.
Exactly. Well, what ended up happening was the first Puerto Rican, it may have been the same pitcher, but he had hit one of their better batters accidentally, and then I think he hit one more.
Oh.
And so there was this, and then they retaliated.
The tension mounted.
Yeah, and it's like, holy smokes, this is like the major.
Oh, so then the Korean pitcher went out and hit.
He did.
Hey man, you hit mine, I'm gonna hit yours.
Yeah,
That's baseball.
Yeah.
But I've never seen that in Little League, let alone from the Asian Pacific.
Yeah.
Usually they're, if they hit a batter, they'll bow and they'll even go over and shake their hand, that sort of thing.
Thank you for hitting me in the head.
Yeah. Well,
I'll take base now.
I'm thinking, if they're the pitcher and they accidentally hit the batter, then they usually go over and shake their hand and make sure they're okay.
Yeah, that's one thing I've always liked about the Little League World Series. There's such good sportsmanship. This is really stunningly bad news to hear.
Have any of us stand at the plate, take one in the head? Are we gonna?
Yeah, but
are we gonna
all
be?
the time in Little League, and the kids just brush it off.
Yeah, but not in the head though. Yeah, maybe it'll flesh you.
Yeah, but this was a curveball.
And
the kid was throwing probably about 35 miles an hour. You can tell it was just an accident.
Yeah, I mean, why? What's the point of hitting somebody in the head?
Yeah.
Unless it's retaliation, but I mean.
Yeah,
the first one who throws is usually it's a mistake and then retaliation. Exactly. The whole thing is pointless. And I understand it. It's part of the macho thing with baseball, You don't see Monet Davis doing that, do you?
Exactly. So let's move on to Monet Davis.
Well, she's got some control.
Boy, she's got a rising fastball, and Vernon, you were talking about it. She's got an array of pitches that's it's more applicable for somebody who's like 18, 19, 20.
Yeah, folks, in case you've been under a rock for the last couple of weeks, Monet Davis, just a sensational pitcher for the Philadelphia entry to the Little League World Series. She is the 6th American female to play in the Little League World Series. She is the first girl to pitch a complete game shutout at the Little League World Series.
9 strikeouts or something?
And is the overall 17th female to participate overall in the Little League World Series.
And if I remember correctly, her hitting is not really terrific, so she's like a real MLB pitcher.
But she got an RBI in a game. I mean, that was another first.
Yeah, you watch her form too out there. The way she carries herself, and then the way she handles herself with the interviews.
Oh, that was great.
She seems like a much brighter, calmer. She's not a little child. Not even. She seems like a young woman.
No, and then she's very smart in giving a lot of credit to her teammates. Yeah. She's handling very, very well.
Rooting for her. I'm also rooting for the Illinois entry, the Chicago entry, all black team for the first time. Making a run at it.
Like the movie Hardball.
Yeah. Is it an inner city team from Chicago?
Yes, it is.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
And they've been tearing it up. Yeah.
So maybe they'll go up against Monet Davis. Wouldn't that be something?
Well, we'll see.
At some point, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess at some point they have to meet each other.
Good.
But potentially.
Good.
I will say this: every team that's there. I mean, after just seeing all the sectionals and it's the regionals. I mean, they earned their way to get there. I mean, they're not a soft team there at all.
We had a team here in the Bay Area, right here in our backyard, that was playing pretty well, didn't we?
Yeah. That was Pacifica American.
Just south of San Francisco.
Yeah,
I was thinking of 2 years ago when they had.
No, I'm talking about this year.
Yeah.
Pacifica America just made it to the championship game of the regional that was held in San Bernardino. Yeah. Had they won that, they would have gone
Oh.
to Williamsport, not Las Vegas, who ended up going.
Oh, that's right. They have a good team, Las Vegas.
Vegas, baby.
Yeah. In fact, I remember.
I believe they're next for Monet Davis's team. Next,
okay.
and that would be later on this week.
I remember a couple of years ago where the Petaluma team, which
That's right.
Petaluma National.
That's
Yep.
right.
which
Yeah.
they had gone almost to the final game. And in fact, in retrospect, it's probably good they didn't because I think it was a Japanese team, were just dominant.
Oh, yeah.
All Godzillas. It was just incredible.
just ripped everybody.
Whenever I think of Petaluma, I always think of two things: chicken capital of the world and arm wrestling championships.
I participated in that.
You did.
I sure did, and I went up against this guy. I mean, I'm one of these guys who was not very big, but I was strong for my size. And I went up against this guy who wore elevator shoes.
Oh no!
I mean, he tried to get any advantage he could.
Yeah.
And our meet, our match lasted. We were the first match up for each other. It lasted at least a minute and a half, at least, which is a long time, right?
Wow.
And after, I mean, he just barely beat me.
Oh.
And afterward, we both looked at each other, and I go, "Good luck. You're going to need it." I mean, because the thing is, you don't get much rest time.
No.
And so you really, what you need is to just slam the guy down in the beginning of each match, and then you get to go on.
There must be some little tricks though involved in that.
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
There is, with the curling the wrist and all kinds of fancy stuff.
Can you imagine little Edward Brown?
That's me.
Yeah.
I weighed.
I bet your face was as red as that horse
Yeah.
of yours.
That's a polo shirt for you guys there. It was about 100 and nothing pounds. On my driver's license, literally, I was 5'3", 103 pounds.
Jeez.
At 16 years old.
Whoa. Oh, you sprouted
That's
up.
funny. I'm 52. I'm 5'3" and 170.
When I was 16, so I had a little bit of a disadvantage. No, it took till quite a while before I grew quite a bit there. Tell you what, we're going to go to a break here pretty soon. When we come back, we're going to get into.
You're not supposed to say coming back. By the way, you'll say we will continue.
We will continue
Because we don't want people to think that we've left them.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's true. But
That's a Bob Agnew.
There you
right
go.
there.
This is a
You
boss
never
of
do
Vernon
that in
and
radio.
Vernon.
When we come back,
Yeah. Bob Agnew was a boss of mine and a boss of Vernon's for a while, and he would always, that was one of his pet peeves, never say we're going away.
And then now in radio they do the tease. They go, "Hey, still ahead."
Still ahead.
Okay.
Hey,
Or
a
stay
guy-
or stay tuned.
Hey, a guy that threw a 90-mile-per-hour pitch and he wasn't wearing pants. I'll have who it was after this. That's what they do.
Oh, yeah.
Man, you guys are excited.
The
I don't want to
tease.
leave.
Yeah,
The thing is, we
that's
do
right.
have to go to commercial breaks, though.
Yeah, I know.
So don't you come back from break? No. You just kind of.
You kind of just
Hey.
transition.
I think
into the break.
you come back. It's the rejoiner. You
Yeah.
give the call letters. You give the time, and then boom.
Awesome. Okay, so here is our first trivia question.
Okay, here we go.
All right, so again, the theme is football. You think you know football? Again.
I think I
This
do.
is round 2. All right. This one, I think you guys will get this one. Who was the first player in history to earn 5 Super Bowl rings? Okay, nice
Okay.
simple question, no tricks,
Yeah.
right? The first 3 emails with the correct answer are going to win a free 3-day, 2-night stay.
The
at
first what?
The first 3 emails.
No. The
Oh, I'm
first,
sorry. Who is the first player in history to earn 5 Super Bowl rings?
first player.
First player. Not a coach, but player. All right.
A single player
Single player.
on a team sport.
On a team sport.
He's the first to get
Super Bowl.
5.
We're talking football.
Okay,
It's,
all right.
It's not a trick
Okay,
question.
all right.
It's not a trick answer.
Okay.
A lot of times, audience, I trick these guys, but not this time. Email Edward at sportsecon101.com the answer to this question. Who was the first player in history to earn 5 Super Bowl rings? Okay? Don't touch that dial because why?
Sports Econ 101.
Is going to continue
Going to continue, that's right.
with more exciting
Don't go anywhere.
Oh, we're having too much
you
fun.
guys,
Is it Marv Fleming?
Who's Marv Fleming?
He was a tight end with the Packers, but he also played with the Dolphins. But the Dolphins only won 2 championships.
That's true.
So that couldn't be him. God, who won 5? Nobody on the 49ers.
Can you,
Was there
can
anybody-
you imagine
was there
winning
anybody else on
5
the-
Super Bowls?
Was there anybody on the Steelers that went to the Niners and got a 5th?
Can't think of anybody off the top of my head. I know that Bill Romanowski almost won 5. He won 2 of the Niners.
Charles
2 of the
Haley has
Colts.
5, but we're talking about somebody that's
The first.
the first.
Well, it might be Charles Haley. Yeah, he won 3 with 2 with the Niners and 3 with the Cowboys. I'm going to say Charles Haley.
That was he was the first
Gotta
one
be
that popped into my brain.
Yeah, that's got to be it. I was thinking of somebody on the Packers who later played with somebody else, but he would have had to play with the Steelers I don't remember anybody who played with the Packers in the 60s and the Steelers in the 70s. It just doesn't ring a bell.
And it's not Bronco Nagurski.
Well, you think one good thing about that is it's anybody before 1967 is
That's true.
pretty much out of the
running. Okay, here we go.
All right.
All right. Okay.
Welcome back to Sports Econ 101. You should see the faces on these guys. They are just smoke's coming out of
Yeah,
here.
smoke. Yeah.
Okay, we've got Vern Glenn here. I'm Everett Brown, and we've got Bruce McGowan. Okay, here was our first trivia question. Who was the first player in history to earn 5 Super Bowl rings? And here was a hint. It was not Red Grange.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Vern's got the answer.
Well, I confirmed. This was I was conspired with Bruce here off my. We're guessing Charles Haley.
You are correct.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
2 with the Niners, 3 with the Cowboys.
That's-
2 with the last 2 the Niners won in the 80s, and the 3 the Cowboys won in the 90s.
Okay.
Always seems to be on that finalist list for the Hall of Fame. Hasn't quite gotten over the hump
I
yet.
mean,
Well, you know, there's too many great guys that are on the list now that are getting in.
But you'd think with 5 Super Bowl rings, and I think also Charles Haley had some things off the field that kind of tainted him a little bit. You know, he had some not major personal problems, but he wrote that book, All the Rage, and I like Charles Haley.
Yeah.
I always found him to be an interesting guy. He had his little moments, but not a bad guy. And, you know, like Bill Romanowski. A lot of people say Bill Romanowski's crazy. I've always liked Bill Romanowski. Passionate.
That's because he spit on that one game.
Oh, J.J. Stokes, yeah.
Yeah. Remember when Haley had a meltdown while playing for the Cowboys?
No, he had it for the Niners. They lost to the Raiders.
No, he had a meltdown with the Niners.
And
they had to go across the hall and get Ronnie Lott from the Raider locker room just to come over and calm him down.
Yeah, because the Raiders had beaten them. I think the final score was something like 9-3, and it was a disgraceful loss.
Right.
This had been about 1991, and Haley was going crazy,
Oh,
breaking lockers.
inconsolable.
Yeah, he was really upset.
They had to go get Lott.
Go get Ronnie Lott to calm him down. You know?
Were they close?
Oh,
Well, they played. Yeah.
No, they played
Yeah,
good.
Yeah, no, Ronnie was a leader on that team. He was a man among men.
Yeah.
Ronnie was your uncle. He was your brother. He was your father. He was.
We got to get Ronnie
he
Lott
was
on
the
the show.
Oh, he
Ronnie
was
Lott would be
awesome.
great.
Yeah, well, I got his number. We'll get him on.
I still love
Yeah.
the story of the broken pinky.
Yeah.
Tear it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, cut it off. Amputate it. I want to be able to play. Unbelievable. Yeah, that's Ronnie
Incredible.
Lott, though, the true warrior.
That's a man among boys.
Yeah, rookie year they won a Super Bowl and he wins 4 in the 80s.
I believe it was an all rookie secondary, was it not?
Eric Davis.
Dwight Hicks was in his 3rd year, but the rest of them weren't.
Okay.
The other 3 guys were not. That would have been Carlton Williamson and Eric Wright.
Eric Wright. Okay,
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, Eric Davis.
He played later in the 90s.
He was like, yeah, he was
Yeah.
later. Yeah.
Eric
Yeah.
Wright. That's
Hey,
right.
I'm just here to make plays. That was his thing.
He
Now he's Mr. NFL Network.
Yeah, he's doing very well. He did the 49ers for a couple of
Yeah.
years on radio. Now he's on the NFL Network.
Very good. Yeah, a lot of these guys.
From Anniston, Alabama. I don't know why I remember that.
Yeah.
Anniston, Alabama.
That's like I remember Willie Namath from Beaver Falls,
Yeah.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
That's one of those things you remember. Okay, this is actually an article I saw a while ago, but it was about Tommy John surgery. And
Ouch.
Yeah, the primary concern is doing too much too soon.
Well, that's the problem with some of these kids.
Mhm.
They get, and the high school kids, they're in these travel teams, and then you get to college and they don't play the other sports, and they're throwing all the time. And look at the A's. The A's have 2 young pitchers, their best 2 pitchers from last year, A.J. Griffin and Jared Parker, who both had to have this surgery. Now, they might come back and have decent careers, but that's terrible. 22, 23 years old, and they have to have Tommy John surgery?
Yeah, I had a chance to interview the Tommy John himself
Mm.
on the TV side, and that was his theory. That it starts in an early age.
Yeah.
These guys, they're just throwing too much.
They are. And it's funny, too, because in the old days, and I say the old days, the pre-1970s, guys could go deeper into games because they had built up that arm strength. They hadn't, they had paced themselves better so they could throw more complete games. But that's because they rested in the off season. Now these guys don't take a rest. Well, maybe they do in the major leagues, but high school kids, they get burnt out. College kids, there's so much wear and tear. It's like the rubber on your tires on your car. There's only so much that you can have on there before it wears out.
Good analogy. Yeah, they talked about here additional factors discussed included improper mechanics, probably too many screwballs, and poor physical conditioning. In order to reduce the risk, recommendations include varying the pitch speeds while focusing on controls and mechanics. And also talk about avoiding pitching while fatigued, considering rest and recovery time. It's like working out with weights.
Yeah.
You can't work out every day. You have to let your body rest. That's how you get strong. Let's see here. Staying away from the performance-enhancing drugs, of course. And the curveball is the prime offender. And those screwballs were always like that. They wouldn't let kids throw screwballs when we were kids. For that reason.
Well, I was taught never to throw a curveball because you got to twist your arm at a certain angle, and you don't have those muscles developed. And I don't know. It just amazes me, some of these guys that they're wondering why aren't we seeing pitchers that last longer? Well, it's because they're burnt out by the time they're 22.
Yeah, and they're throwing harder.
Yeah. Everybody's wowed by the clock. Oh yeah, I want to throw 95, 98. Yeah. How about throwing just Greg Maddux couldn't break a pane of glass, but he was a great pitcher. I mean, come on.
That's good. I like that. I like that phrase. But it's funny because you have enough middle relievers and
specialists, setup men.
Yeah. So you think, okay, guys can pitch what 100 pitches on average.
Yeah.
But I don't know again.
100, like about 90, and then they start to get the alarm bells start going.
Yeah. I wonder how many Cy Young pitched.
I heard a story. John Miller told me a story. He said that this is an interesting story. The first game John Miller ever went to, 1962, Giants-Dodgers, 19-8, the Giants won the game. Billy O'Dell pitched the entire game, and he threw 172 pitches.
Jesus.
Now, can you imagine that today?
Mm.
And the funny story was that Alvin Dark was saying, well, yeah, I was kind of concerned when Billy gave up 5 runs in the ninth, but he'd only thrown 152 pitches. So he was okay.
Maybe he's a knuckleball.
Wow.
Yeah. Those guys can last forever. So I had another article here. Again, it's a couple months old, but NBA prospects missing the combine. So it said here the top 3 prospects in the 2014 draft: Joel Embiid, Andrew Wiggins, and Duke's Jabari Parker. Well, they did not attend the week's pre-draft combine in Chicago.
Well, Wiggins was hurt. Embiid certainly was hurt with a back. Jabari Parker, I don't know. I mean, a lot of these guys, either they're hurt or their draft stock is so high. I mean, they know they're going to go up there. Well, why do I need to show my talents at the combine?
It's not like the NFL.
You want to see my talents? Throw in the tape.
Yeah. NFL combine is such a big deal. The NBA combine's not that big a deal, I don't think, is it, Bert?
No, it's not.
That's exactly the point.
Not compared to the big monster, the big mothership of the NFL.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so like with football, you can't just show it like
Jadeveon Clowney.
That's a great name, by the way. Say that 3 times.
Now, some guys will go to the combine, not work out or do all the workouts. I mean, they'll go and get waved, poked, prodded, and all that kind of stuff, but not if you're a quarterback, maybe they don't throw. If you got a slight little hammy issue, maybe you don't run the 40. You just wait and do it at a different time.
I would think you wouldn't want to be probed and poked too much, though. I just don't like.
Yeah, but everybody goes through it. And then they go through the Wonderlic test.
Yeah.
That's the aptitude.
I have to take a Wonderlic test. Come on, jeez.
Sure
I read somewhere. Gosh, did I read? For some reason, I'm thinking Johnny Manziel got the highest score on the Wonderlic test.
Really?
For the NFL draft. Yeah.
I think it's so unfair that Johnny Manziel is getting so much attention. Not, that he doesn't deserve a little attention, but it puts more stress on this kid. Let him play a little bit and then start getting into the, is he going to be a great player?
What do you make of what he did Monday night?
It wasn't very impressive.
Woo, boy.
Yeah. But, it is a preseason.
I'm talking about giving the Redskins half the peace sign.
Yeah.
Running back to the
that one. Oh, yeah.
That's what everybody's talking about.
The middle fingers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I guess one of the...
hanging out with Justin Bieber too much. Go ahead.
Well, no, I was going to say one of the defensive linemen hit him and then kind of did a parody of Johnny's little football...
The whole money grab thing.
The money grab thing.
Yeah.
Johnny Manziel, the times I've heard him on the radio or television, he seems like a pretty down-to-earth guy.
Mm-hmm.
But there's this image he has of being this sort of spoiled athlete. I don't get it.
If I was playing with these guys who were 300 pounds trying to knock my head off, I don't think I taunt them.
That's not a good idea.
No,
not a good idea.
If they don't get you the first time.
Well, Money, I don't think he was taunting. That was a retaliation.
Yeah, that was more like
that was him reacting to something somebody said.
Yeah, the only guy
from the Redskins.
I was gonna say the only guy I think you could get away with that and do it would be Ben Roethlisberger. You would not want to run into him.
Yeah, no, we'll have 6'4", 2.
He's like about 6.
Yeah, he's
just a beast.
He's huge.
Yeah. Well, he is a guy that went off the. he got into an auto accident. I guess he was driving a motorcycle, hit a car. He had no helmet on, knocked out. He was in the hospital unconscious for a couple days. Hey, no problems. He's still he's doing just fine.
Yeah, remember he had the he said, she said little thing at a hotel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
In Lake Tahoe.
Oh yeah.
But it was cleared of that.
Yeah.
Just like Kobe Bryant.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah, they were just talking here, going back to this NBA combine here. It says, while most top prospects don't participate in the basketball elements of the combine, most make themselves available for physicals to be distributed to the 30 teams.
Mm-hmm.
It says, to be honest, one general manager told This Is Yahoo Sports, I'm surprised more guys don't do this. It's the only thing they can really control. Because once the draft lottery order is set, the players can later selectively choose teams with which to undergo physicals. And Embiid is a 7-footer, still recovering from a stress fracture in his lower back. And high lottery teams will be anxious to have him examined by their own physicians. Yeah, I can definitely see a problem with, just sort of guessing that someone is going to be healthy.
Yeah, well, some of these guys come out of college. Look at Greg Oden. Remember him?
Oh, yeah.
He was supposed to be the next great thing, and he still may turn out to be able to have some kind of a career. But boy, this guy's just had the worst luck with injury problems.
Very much. Okay, we're going to cut to our second commercial break.
Already?
Already?
All right.
Having too much fun.
Too much. Okay, football. Do you know football? Which
Here we
team won their division in 2008 after having the worst record in the NFL the season prior?
Won their division in 08.
In 08, having the worst record in the NFL the season prior. First 3 emails with the correct answer. Win a free 3-day, 2-night stay at the Lighthouse Resort. Email edward@sportsecon101.com. Oh, I love that. The hands behind the head, rocking back. I love that. Okay.
Can you AFC, NFC? Can you give us?
I ain't gonna tell you anything. Listen, you got to choose what? How many teams there are?
32.
There you go. You got 32 chances.
Oh, boy.
All right.
Well, it wasn't the Raiders.
Raiders haven't won since 1972.
Come on, 2002.
There
Let's
you
be
go.
fair.
Okay. Which team won their division in 2008 after having the worst record in the NFL the season prior? Don't touch that dial. Sports Econ 101. I'll be right back.
Arizona Cardinals? Yeah.
Oh,
they won
guess
the
now.
Super
You
Bowl.
can guess when we're on the air.
They won the Super Bowl that year.
They had the worst record in the league.
Wait a
Came back and won the division.
Cardinals never won the Super Bowl.
No, they
No,
were in it. They were in it. Remember, they should have won.
And they should have won.
Yeah.
But that halftime, Kurt Warner interception, remember he's running down the
Oh,
sideline? All they do is push him out of bounds, and
Yeah.
they wouldn't have
Yeah.
they wouldn't have gotten enough points.
Yeah.
I remember that.
That's a good
Arizona.
guess.
Yeah, I was going to say Arizona, but I'm probably wrong. I think Arizona might have been a wild card team that year.
Yeah, because to win the division, that would be winning the NFC West.
Yeah. Because I don't remember them winning that division that year, but.
Division.
I want to talk a little bit about Bud Selig,
Bud Selig.
his retirement.
I got a good Bud Selig story.
Okay, good.
Do the Packers have been that bad?
No.
In the changeover from Favre to Aaron Rodgers?
No, I don't think so.
Maybe.
Even the
We're
Bears.
going to do this before you guys have a chance to think too much.
Okay. All right.
All right, away we go. Welcome back to Sports Econ 101. I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with Vern Glenn and Bruce McGowan.
Oh.
Okay, here was our second commercial break trivia question. Which team, we're talking the NFL here, won their division in 2008 after having the worst record in the NFL the season prior?
I was going to guess the Arizona Cardinals, but I'm thinking they went to the Super Bowl, and I think they went as a wild card team that year. They were beaten by Pittsburgh, but
No, that is not correct. You have 31 more guesses.
I
That'll take us
Well, we
about
know it's
2
not
more
the
hours.
Raiders, so that gets us
Yeah.
down to 30. It's not the Niners, so that's
No.
29.
Okay, I'll give you a
Where's the
hint.
record?
AFC.
AFC.
AFC team. Okay.
The NFC.
Hang on.
Okay.
Hey, don't rush me, America. Jeez.
You want another hint?
East?
Yes.
AFC East.
Baltimore?
No.
Pittsburgh?
No. That's an Eastern team.
Eastern team.
As opposed to
Oh, it's
Western.
okay.
team.
Eastern team. Could be in the East.
Oh, Eastern Cup? Eastern.
Just east of the
AFC
Mississippi.
East of the Mississippi.
Okay.
So again, we're talking about which team won their division in 2008 after having the worst record in the NFL the season prior. And I remember this now, too. Once I mentioned it's an animal.
Oh,
Animal
Jag.
vegetable
No,
animal.
I'm going to say the Jaguars, but they.
No. Come on. What's an animal that swims in the water?
Oh, a dolphin.
A dolphin.
The Dolphins?
Dolphins, yeah, they were 1 in 15.
Wait,
That's
isn't
right.
a dolphin a mammal?
It is a mammal. That's why you said an animal,
No,
didn't you?
I just said it swims in the water.
Yeah, you just said it swims in the water. Okay. All right.
Miami
Don't get
Dolphins.
me on this mammal
All
stuff.
right.
Yes, in 2007 they were 1 in 15. I remember
Wow.
that. And then in 2008 they went 11 and 5.
Wow.
Won the division.
Damn.
So we're gonna get into a little bit of bud ball.
Bud Selig.
Bud Selig.
Yeah, in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
And he's
After a 15-year absence.
he's
Farewell
retiring.
tour. Well,
Yeah.
he's doing his farewell tour. He's
I
trying to-
guess so, yeah.
You gotta
Oddly
get-
enough, in Oakland.
Got to give this guy some credit, though. I mean, the game has never enjoyed as much prosperity. All these new stadiums.
Exactly.
Now, granted, we went through the steroid era, but there's been labor peace. We haven't had any strikes. Haven't had any near strikes.
No, he still blew it though at the All-Star game when he.
Oh, that was bad.
That was really bad.
That cost the Giants probably the World Series.
Yeah, I'd love to ask him, hey, but how's that search committee going? You know, the one you were going to form?
The
you know,
blue, blue ribbon.
Yeah. How's the Blue Ribbon Committee going? Yeah, when you're going to, have the team go to San Jose? How's that committee going?
I got a quick Bud Selig story I got to tell you. I'm in Milwaukee with the Giants. This is in '98, and I had arranged to do an interview with Bud Selig, and the only time he could do it was after the third game. It was a day game, and the Giants were leaving right after the game to go to Chicago or to go to St. Louis. So I go down to his office, and we get so wrapped up in the conversation. I'm having such a good time talking with him. He was wonderful. Then all of a sudden, I get this tap on my shoulder, and it's his secretary saying, "You got to get out of here right now." And I said, "Why?" "Well, the Giants team bus has left."
Wow.
And I was, I had no way of getting to St. Louis if I didn't get on that bus and get on that plane. So Bud said, "Oh, don't worry about it." He had this old buddy of his who was one of his kind of, I guess the guy did a lot of errands for him, an older guy who seemed to have a bad leg and a bad arm, but could drive with one arm and one leg.
An airplane.
And he proceeded to get me from County Stadium to the
Jet Center where the team was?
where the team was to the airport. And luckily, the Giants were stuck on the tarmac. They had mechanical problems, and the problem was I couldn't get out of the tarmac because there were all these restrictions.
Sure.
So I snuck in through a gate that I wasn't supposed to sneak, and I ran over to the jetway, and I get to the top of the stairs, and three of the players, Oral Hershiser was one of them, just started to give me a hard time. Now we know why the plane was delayed, because you
Yes, on that important.
Yeah, so there you go. That's
That's a good
my
story.
Bud
I like
Selig
that.
story, yeah.
Very good. I thought he was going to have his own private plane.
No, I have to give him credit. I mean, I told him years later, I said, "Thanks a lot for getting me on that plane, because my boss would have made me pay to fly
He
from
sure
Milwaukee."
would have. He sure would have.
Yeah, it's a good
What
thing.
was the one thing you brought up where Bud's eyes just really lit up? Where boy, man, I really got him.
Well, I told him, I said, I thought, I started bringing up the '94 strike, and I explained why I thought it was such, and he complained to me about, "Hey, look how the game has bounced back. Look at all the excitement over baseball. Look at this home run chase between McGuire and Sosa."
Yeah, no, that's not so.
That
that's
was
not,
the year.
Yeah, but that's not him.
No, but he was trying to. The thing about
Just
Buddy,
trying to talk about how baseball came back a lot.
Yeah.
People did.
I would give Bud credit for one thing. He didn't sit there and toot his own horn so much, but he always talked about the game. The game.
Yeah.
It was always the game, and I give him credit for that. He loved the game of baseball. He does.
Well, he said here, this is a Sports Illustrated article, and it said back in 1982, Selig's first year, only one of the division races, and by extension, playoff berths, was in doubt with 2 weeks to play. Put another way, just 5 of the 26 teams entered the stretch thinking about October. 3 teams as many are likely to remain alive with 2 weeks left this season. So, that it obviously makes him look good
With all these,
with more excitement coming.
we got 15 teams involved.
And he made owners a lot of money.
Oh yeah,
He did.
yeah.
So
Bud Selig.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I like baseball, that '94 season really hurt me internally.
It hurt everybody. I mean, it was just a disaster.
are the scars still there?
No,
I'm
I'm
get
a
some
forgiving
therapy,
man.
and you call that. And just
Yeah,
Edward needs a hug
I need a hug.
for 1994.
20 years later.
Yeah.
I can.
I have to credit that for helping to cement my marriage, though, because I got to spend a lot more time with my bride.
There you go.
We were in the early stages of romance, and so I had all this free time. I didn't have to go to baseball games.
Wait a minute. Maybe you're the cause of the strike, and we don't know it.
Could be.
Could be. Yeah, well, actually, because the Giants won 2 World Series since then, I think now I can be.
Oh, speaking of the Giants, I got to give Bud Selig credit for another thing. when the Giants virtually were, and Bernard remembers this, in 1992, they almost moved to Tampa.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And a lot of the owners wanted them to.
I mean,
move to Tampa.
they had a foot in out the door in that town. I remember doing a live shot to a station in Tampa, pretty much telling him, well, hey, enjoy these guys because you're about to get them.
Yeah. Well, the thing was, Bud Selig was one of the owners who spoke very passionately against it. He said it would have ruined the configuration of the leagues because you'd have this imbalance and the tradition. He said, no, we've got some people in the city that are going to buy this team. And I give him credit for it. You know?
Yeah, that was very good.
Yeah.
Moving on here, did you guys hear about the Astros? They claim that an internal trade. Okay, the way they read these things is terrible. Okay, Houston Astros said that they had been the victims of hackers who accessed their servers and published months of internal trade talks on the internet.
Interesting.
Ooh.
Can you imagine with
their trade dirty laundry?
Exactly. Yeah, their secrets
just hanging out there.
Watergate all over again.
Exactly. Because that's the team in a couple of years. I mean, they're gonna be really good.
That's what they're talking about.
Yeah.
We'll call this Houston Astrogate, I guess.
Yeah. It says here they rely heavily on sabermetrics. Where have we heard that term?
Oh yeah.
And in their evaluation of players, and they've been open about the fact that they use an online database to house their proprietary information. So they're not sure, if that's how they got targeted. But boy, these hackers.
They're nasty. Got to watch out for them. They're under every rock.
Yep. Click the wrong button and poof, curtains.
Did I tell you when I was the victim of identity theft?
No.
It was a few years ago. I get a call out of the blue. It's on a Saturday. And I just happened to be at home, just happened to answer the phone, and some guy says, "Hi, is this Edward Brown?" And I said, "What do you want?" And he said, "Well, can I verify something with you?" And you want to verify some information. I said, "Well, I'm not going to tell you any information. You tell me, and then I'll verify it." He goes, "Well, do you live in this town?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "Is it?" And then he goes as far as, "Is this your social security number?"
Ooh.
And your birthday. And I go, "I'm listening."
Yeah.
And apparently, and I think what had happened was I had gone to a store that you buy electronics and gave my credit card. And somebody, these guys, they'll sell that information like $50.
Yeah.
The reason I think it was this one company is because within 2 weeks, one of my office roommates' wife went to the same store. And she got hacked also. It's just a little too coincidental.
Yeah.
So someone had basically put a license together with my information on a California driver's license, but with a Kentucky address.
Interesting.
And this guy went into like a Lowe's and was trying to buy $8,000 worth of washing machines and stuff that they sell at Lowe's.
Sure.
And so when they were trying to nab the guy, this was a professional deal because what they did was the guy himself didn't come in. He just sent somebody else in to pick up the equipment.
Of course.
So when they try to nail this Edward Brown, he says, "No, my name is Joe Blow.
Right.
I'm just here to pick up. I was just told.
I was just sent to pick up. Guy gave me $100 to show him come get it.
I'm an innocent bystander.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they couldn't nail him, but I was really thankful because we caught this fairly early on.
Yeah.
And the guy had only opened up like 3 accounts.
Whoa.
And I was probably, out of all the stories you hear, all the nasty, I was probably the least inconvenienced.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've heard some nightmare stories. It's just terrible.
That just going to cost you a little bit too much.
Definitely.
All right. Let's see here. I saw a little thing here also on Sports Illustrated. I thought it was kind of funny. They're talking about the NFL's biggest all-time busts, including former Texans quarterback David Carr, who was the first overall draft pick in 2002, coming out of Fresno State. And he spent 5 years in Houston. And let's see, he was sacked an NFL record 76 times. Now, here's my point on this, is that the Texans were fairly new back then, right?
Yeah, that means he was in the game a lot, too. So he couldn't have been terrible.
Well, that's true. But the thing is, it's like, how much can you fault him compared to,
the
an
offensive
NFL?
line?
Yeah. I mean, these guys, maybe they weigh 210 pounds, instead of 290.
So much can go wrong, but because you're in the spotlight position, you're the one that's going to get the hate.
I always think of Ryan Leaf as the all-time bust.
I think I would agree with that
and
one.
Didn't he have some
Over
kind of
Tony Mandarich?
No, Tony Mandarich is right there, too. Those two guys.
Yeah.
But I remember Ryan Leaf had some kind of prescription drug thing. It's just so sad. His life just
Remember the blow up in the locker room? Don't talk to me, all right?
Yeah.
Knock it off.
Yeah.
Remember?
What about Orlando Pace? I mean, I guess he wasn't a complete bust.
No, he
No,
was actually,
he-
he turned
no,
out to
he
be
was-
pretty good.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was
becoming
pretty good.
managers, I think that's
Yeah.
got to be one of the big ones.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny. I remember back in the old days when he used to play.
Brian
flag.
Bosworth, there's another one.
Yeah, but he got hurt though.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, that
That wasn't entirely his fault.
Yeah.
He got run over by, what was it?
Bo Jackson.
Freight train.
Bo Jackson's
yeah.
footprints were on his back, on his helmet.
But Bo was smart enough to buy a $5 million disability policy, so
Yeah.
he came out financially okay.
Yeah.
I remember in the old days, I played flag football. I had no offensive line, so as soon as the ball was hiked to me, literally these guys were on me. So I threw, I don't know, 9 interceptions for every completion. You know, and I'm looking at this going, you know, I'm not that bad a quarterback. It's
Well, at
just
least
I
somebody
can't do
caught
anything.
At least somebody caught your pass.
At least somebody caught it, yeah.
You know,
Oh, that
something to be said for that.
All right, this was let's see. I don't think we have enough time for that one. So I tell you what, we are going to go to our third and final commercial break. That'll buy us enough time. Okay, again, the theme is Do You Know Football? Again, round 2.
All right.
In 1989, a record trade was made that involved 18 players.
Oh, yes.
See, then you'll know the answer.
Mhm.
Who was the primary big name player that caused all of the ruckus? The first 3 emails with the correct answer are going to win a free 3-day 2-night stay at the Lighthouse Resort. Email edward@sportsecon101.com the answer to this question. In 1989, a record trade was made that involved 18 NFL players. Who was the primary big name player that caused all of the ruckus? All right? And don't touch that dial, because when we come back, we're going to have some closing comments on Sports Econ 101. Don't touch that dial. We will be right back.
Is that Herschel Walker?
That was Herschel Walker.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the Cowboys got like 5 guys that started on their Super Bowl championship teams out of that. 4 or 5 guys out of that. It was a great trade. Herschel Walker, now he was doing some boxing, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm. I was training in San Jose.
I remember he said, I don't lift weights, I do push-ups and sit-ups. And I do
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you do like 5,000
or
or something.
5,000
Ridiculous.
push-ups and sit-ups
I
a
remember he
day.
played with the New York Generals, I think, at the USFL.
Yes.
That's
Yep.
right.
Yep.
Yeah, because I remember back in the 80s, they had a team out in Oakland. I used to go out and cover
The Oakland Invaders.
Oakland Invaders.
I believe Mike Schumann played for the
Mike
Oakland
did.
Invaders.
Bobby Hebert played for him. Raymond Chester played for him. Gary Plummer for the 49ers
Raymond
played for him.
Chester.
Yeah,
he was
tight end.
old
Yeah,
by then.
he was old.
Yeah. Okay.
Trying to think who else was on that team. Bobby Hebert was a quarterback one year. They got to the Arena Bowl.
We got Kurt Warner playing in arena football.
That's right, Kurt Warner.
Steve Young.
Steve Young. The LA Express. Yeah, William Olderman.
I had a friend who played for the LA Express. Then played for the Saints. Yeah, he was in the.
Who's that?
Greg Lober. He was a middle linebacker for Cal.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Played during the play, but he was on
Yeah.
the sidelines at the time.
I was at that game. God, that was most of the media was not in the press box when that happened because they figured the game was over.
Yeah.
And I remember Art Spander was waiting. I got to talk to him about this. He was waiting outside the locker room, and I run down there with all the other guys after the play ended. And he goes, "What happened? I heard it was crazy." I said, "All right, you just missed the longest play in the history of college football." No.
And that's actually when it's a vote. It's every year it seems to be number 1.
It's funny. They call that the greatest play in college football, and the greatest play in pro football is the Immaculate Reception. Go figure that out. You know.
I don't
Crazy
know.
play.
I like the one that the Tennessee.
Oh, you're talking about the
Music City
Yeah.
Miracle.
Center Miracle. Yeah, that's a pretty amazing play.
I mean, that's very similar to the play.
Yeah.
All right.
But there were 5 laterals in that game. John Elway's comment afterwards, they ruined my last college game. They ruined it.
That was a great call by
Joe Starkey.
Yeah,
Yeah, you don't know what the hell's going on, but he's just, something great is happening because he's going crazy.
Yeah.
They still haven't
All right,
stopped
yeah,
it. Oh my
right,
gosh, the
so
band is on the field.
there's
He's
another
going to
one.
score. There's another one. He's going to score. Oh my God.
All right, let's
Oh, the band's on the
The
field.
band's on the field.
Have you ever seen the T-shirt? It shows the play, and it's got a bunch of notes for the Stanford band.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Gary Tyrell became famous.
Mm.
Sports. Ron Fimrad wrote a wonderful article about that the next year in the college football preview about the entire play with all the principles involved quoted, and it was just and I remember for years in the Cal Hall of Fame room they used to have that mimeographed on a big bunch of big sheets of paper with the pictures and everything. They were
Ron,
really
in relation to Peter Finray?
Yeah, that's his father. Ron's Peter's.
Ron is Peter's father.
Ron is Peter's father.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because
You
Peter,
know, you
Peter
remember
Finray is married
Uh-huh.
to a friend of mine,
Oh, really?
Sandy Cholos.
Oh, I like Peter. He's a good
Who
guy.
I worked with at Cron.
Do you know Peter at all?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well,
Great writer.
they live right off Shoreline.
He's
in
one
the
of
valley.
he's one of the best news writers, I think, in the Bay Area. He really does a good job.
Very good writer.
Very good writer. Yeah, his dad was a great guy. His dad was a character.
You guys ready?
Yes.
Welcome back to Sports Econ 101. Edward Brown, Bergen Glenn, Bruce McGowan.
Mhm.
We're all here.
Yes.
Gang's all here. In 1989, a record trade was made that involved 18 players. Who was the primary big name player that caused all of the ruckus? Obviously, we're talking the NFL.
And he never was a great player afterward, was he, Vern?
Yeah, number 34, Herschel Walker.
Herschel
Correct.
Walker, that is correct. The trade occurred on October 13th, mid-season in 1989. Walker played in Dallas for 3 years, from 86 to 88. 89, Walker was traded. He was a Minnesota Viking running back,
Mm-hmm.
and then the Dallas Cowboys said, "We want you back at any cost." The trade was made involving 18 players and future draft picks, and Herschel ended up in Dallas for the rest of the season. And as crazy things go, Walker was a Minnesota Viking again in 1990, but he retired as a Dallas Cowboy in 1997.
Yeah, interesting story about that original trade too. That the Cowboys got, I think, 5 of their stars that went up playing in the Super Bowl for 3 years, and they were in the NFC Championship game 4 years in a row. So they really came out of that deal smelling like a rose. And you remember in the late '80s, they were a terrible team.
Yeah, they were. Remember they were 1-15.
Yeah, in
Troy
1989.
Aikman's first year.
Yeah.
Yep, I remember that. Okay, here's our thoughts for the day. In 1957, Richie Ashburn hit a fan with a foul ball, breaking her nose.
Ooh.
While she was being carried away on a stretcher, he hit her again, this
Oh.
time on the knee.
Oh,
Can you
jeez.
imagine that?
And Richie
Yes.
Ashburn was one of the nicest people you ever want to
I mean,
meet.
obviously it's accidental.
Yeah. I got to know him. I got to know him slightly when he was an announcer with the Phillies.
Yeah,
Sweet,
that's funny.
sweet guy. Yeah.
Okay, and then get this now. O.J. Simpson was originally cast to play the Terminator, but the studio was afraid that no one would buy him as a remorseless killer.
Ah!
He cut the part.
Oh,
You know,
my God.
he was in pre-production for a NBC show about Navy SEALs. It may even be called Navy SEALs at the time that it all went down.
He was in a couple of movies. Jim Brown was in a couple of good movies. He was in
he doesn't.
Jim
Maybe
Brown's
he
in a
doesn't.
lot. Yeah, he was in
Yeah.
a sling of movies.
yeah.
but-
Ice Station Zebra. You remember that one?
I remember the name, but I don't think I saw that. All right, tune in next week to Sports Econ 101. We're going to be discussing sports topics from a business perspective and giving away more vacations for answering sports trivia questions. Thanks for listening. On behalf of our team, I'm your host, Edward Brown. We'll see you next week.
Good night, America.
So long.